It's a happy, cool world.
100%. Absolutely.
We've never been disappointed by reality ever.
Speaking of, let's take a look at Drukhari next. Hello and welcome to the Warhammer Podcast, episode 219. I'm your host, Eric, and I've got my co-host, Brad.
Hi, I'm sick.
Dad joke. Just like you said that, and I was like, oh man, my brain just completely short-circuited and was like, there's a dad joke.
Hi, sick. I'm Dad.
Yeah, right.
So, on today's episode, other than my cold, we're going to discuss Kill Team.
But Brad, this is the Warhammer Podcast. We don't care about Kill Team.
You're right, but by the end of this episode, I guarantee you will care about Kill Team, and you will think of it as your savior.
Sounds good.
All right, Eric, so what are we actually doing here today?
I mean, we're going to take a look at how Kill Team is, I suppose, saving the day for 40k.
Yes, how your faction can have its day saved by Kill Team.
I mean, other than Space Marines, because you don't really need to be saved, but we'll get into that, I suppose.
Okay, so question. Let's say you've got a faction that could seriously use some range improvements. Like, let's say World Eaters, where you're working with half a deck.
Yeah?
Votann, EC, one of those. Or maybe you have a lot of models, but some of them, they need a range update, like Grey Knights, Drukhari.
Yeah, I mean, there's one that we brought up fairly recently, though, and shockingly, it's a Space Marine, Blood Angels.
Oh, maybe you got a refresh, but it wasn't quite up to snuff.
Yeah. Sometimes you're like Orks, and you just need a second try at it.
There's a try again brag joke in there for guard too, but I can't think of it. But if you need this, you only get one opportunity every 3 years when your codex launches. You don't get models outside of a codex launch, with a few exception cases.
Okay, I mean, that does feel sort of right, but it also feels wrong.
A lot of people out there are screaming that it is wrong, but let me show you the truth of what I just stated.
Okay, because I mean, you do generally get your models at the codex time, so that's like the big happy, we're going to get a bunch of stuff, but there has to be more times throughout an edition that you get stuff.
So, I had a hypothesis.
It's science class.
Eric, you are a man of science. You got a useless degree. How's it going, physicist?
Well, not bad, I suppose.
You podcast for a living now.
Definitely putting that degree to use.
So anyway, you know what a null hypothesis is.
I have some idea, yeah.
You better have more than some idea. You have a fucking degree in it. I know what it is, and I'm a comp sci major. We went to school together.
Oh, we did.
You don't even need to get to the college level to know what a null hypothesis is. Anyway, to start with, I had a hypothesis, which is I don't believe the 40k team will let you get new models other than your codex, with a few exception cases that I had to like comb through and figure out what I thought they were.
Okay.
Number one, your name is Space Marines because you're a subscription service and they make you a new model every month or so that they can get more money out of your pocket because you're an idiot.
Right. I mean, that was the obvious, like, Kill Team doesn't need to save the day because Space Marines continue to get more models relatively commonly.
We'll get to you in a second, Space Marines.
I mean, the other one is immediately that comes to mind, the like one-off, the Red Gobbo.
So this was covered under my Legends rule of if it's a Legends model, it doesn't count.
Okay.
Because they're not real. They like don't exist. And it's true. Like if you look at it, when we're done with this, you're going to realize that the only thing that falls outside of the other scenarios here is a model that just is a Legends model right away, where it's clear that GW just doesn't care about those. Those are like a for fun, so their artists can make something.
Which is cool. I mean, there's some very exciting models. Like, I love the Red Gobbo, but
it's also, it's not something they have to worry about balancing. It's not something they have to worry about in any way. So they just go, whatever, you can make it for Christmas.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that is a fair exception to the original hypothesis.
So then there was another exception case, which is start of the edition, there's a launch box. Technically, there's no codex there. Space Marines is one of the two, but whoever else is there also gets stuff outside of their codex time.
Yeah, technically, sure.
And on the other end of the edition, after all the codices are made, but they've still got that last like 9 months of the edition where they're trying to sell stuff still, they need an excuse to sell stuff. So what they'll do is make a bunch of splat books, like it's fucking 3.5 edition of D&D.
Yeah.
And they'll release new models for random armies in those books, and that'll be how they help excuse the splat books at the end of the edition.
Right. So like for right now, it's the, what's the actual name of it?
I don't remember the full name, but it was 500 worlds. It ends with Armageddon.
Okay, because I was like, all I remember was like, it's 500 worlds. Whatever that is.
So in 8th edition, it was Psychic Awakening. In 9th edition, it was Codex Astra Militarum.
Got him.
But in 10th edition, it was what I'm going to call the 500 Worlds books, which was 4 books of different names that happened over the last few months here.
Yeah, and there's a couple models that come out, and it's like a last hurrah of the edition.
Yeah, it's essentially just more codices, but they ran out of factions. But they really want to have a new codex every month or two to keep sales up. But when you're out of them, then you just start making splat books until the edition ends.
Okay.
So we have that exception case at the end of the edition to match the one at the beginning before the codices start. So getting rid of those 2 exceptions, now we have only codices, legends models, but surely there's more ways we get models. We get them all the time, don't we?
Well, I mean, we do. We play AOS as well.
Occasionally, at least. Mostly just Spearhead, but
like technically, I mean, once 11th settles down a little bit, we'll play some more.
But the final exception case is a different game made this model, and you're just playing it as a 40k player because you got rules because they made it for a different game, and they want to sell it to 40k players too.
Okay. Then that hits the Custodes as well. We've got Horus Heresy.
Yep. This requires you to either have you're playable in 40k and AOS, thus your demons, where my new demon releases GW.
Right.
Or your kit has 10,000 years of lore protection, so your Custodes are knights, or AdMech robots that they just refuse to do.
One day. Huff that copium.
Or you're the other thing in your setting, kill team.
Hey, we got there.
So I took this hypothesis and I made it a null hypothesis. And I said, factions other than the Space Marines get releases outside of their codex window and the end of the edition stuff without relying on other games to do so. And I gave it to the patrons and I said, hey, help me make a list of all of these. I got Space Marines done. I did everything from 500 worlds onward. Just give me the ones from earlier in the edition, but you don't do the ones at the codex launch. And then all the patrons started arguing as they kept realizing that everyone found is technically from a codex launch. And about 30 minutes later, I went, cool, thank you for proving the null hypothesis.
Yeah, it still feels kind of wrong, but that's largely because of Kill Team.
Yep, because Kill Team does a lot of legwork, as we're going to get into in this episode.
But yeah, it is kind of weird that you shouldn't really expect new models unless it's your codex or Kill Team. So it's a good thing Kill Team is here. Definitely saving the day.
So I guess the point of this episode, other than to prove to you how important Kill Team can be to your faction, is let's go through, talk about each faction, what Kill Team has already done for them, and what Kill Team could do for them in the future as we dream up some new ideas. Before we get too into this though, please stick with us through the end because we've got some news at the end that will probably be of interest to you.
All right, then, I mean, we might jump around a little bit. Let's at least start with some semblance of order with Adeptas Sororitas.
We gotta start with the very first faction we always start with.
Exactly.
If we go in the same order we go in a ranking episode, I'm gonna laugh, but like, we might.
We might. I think we might jump around a little bit, but...
All right, so Sororitas has had 3 kill teams dedicated to it already. To run you through them, and so something can appear on screen for Borrelio. We have the Novitiates, which is the sister version of Scouts or Cultists, whatever. We have the Insidiants, which are the elite mage hunter girls, I guess is the best way to say what they are.
Yeah, they're the Psyker Hunters.
And then we have the Sanctifiers, which is also known as the non-sisters that Sisters has access to.
Everybody else.
And this last one is what gave us the new plastic version of the Ministorum Priest. It gave us the new Death Cult Assassin model that's plastic. It basically did the last little bit of updates to get Sisters out of like the 1995 ass range.
Yeah, it really is kind of just everything else. But yeah, like 3 kill teams for Sisters is quite a few. I guess before we go too much further though, a little check for sanity on like what we're actually talking about here. These are going to be kill teams that gave us like unique models, whether it's a refresh or like a new unit, but like not just a repackaged model.
Yes. So we're going to count stuff that has upgrade sprues, and we'll talk about that it was an upgrade sprue, but we're not going to talk about, for instance, Angels of Death versus Plague Marines was like the 2024 intro box. Those weren't made by the Kill team. Those are a separate group of models that were from like the gotcha packs they made for Japan or whatever. That's different. They just repackaged it and threw it in a box. That doesn't count for this. We're talking about things that were made exclusively for Kill Team.
Yeah, that are giving us something new, even if it's just an upgrade sprue. But yeah, I mean, these have done some pretty good work for Sisters though. The Insidiants, Insidiants, I kind of love them, and they fit really well.
Yeah, the Insidiants feel like the opposite to the Sacrosanct. Like they're the other half of that duo.
Yeah.
Which is nice to have the more elite girls. I appreciate everything to do with like the Ministorum Priest and the other stuff, but like I don't like anything in that part of the army. Like I much prefer the Sisters aesthetic over this portion that's just lore reasons it exists.
Yeah.
But like it's fine to be done with it and have it updated so that it's not like also there's these two old metal models you could play.
And like this is a pretty reasonable way to do it, as opposed to like actually releasing just like one or two of those characters every 6 years.
And I think novitiates are a cool scout unit. It's neat real estate.
Yeah.
I don't particularly think scouts are ever like the coolest thing ever for any army, but like, yeah, your scout, your cultist, your basicest troop, it has to exist somewhere in your settings. So you might as well make, you know, an interesting looking model for it.
It is definitely a part of the army from a play style when you're trying to build the faction and make it, you know, balanced in some way. That is a hole that you do have to fill. So it was good there. Honestly, Sisters doesn't really need too much from Kill Team.
No, so Sisters is an infantry heavy army to begin with, and they have a good amount of infantry options. Could they use more? Everyone could use more, it's fine, except for possibly Space Marines, but I'm even going to give them the free ride today. They could use more too, sure, why not?
Honestly, there's always new models that you can come up with and are cool.
But desperately needed, not so much with Sisters. They're sitting pretty comfy on the infantry spectrum. I know we could get into the talk that we're going to get into with Tyranids and the Red Terror and the new box. We'll get to that discussion later. But focusing on the infantry portion right now, dreaming up something for Sisters is basically like, we could do something with the fact that like the Crusader technically got a pseudo refresh in Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah.
Eric, before the show, was talking about his thoughts on the Death Cult Assassin.
I like it. I feel like it's completely let down by the Sanctifiers Kill Team. Let's have an actual proper unit focused on them.
Yeah, Eric wanted a ninja unit for the Sisters for their Death Cult Assassins.
As opposed to just being like part of the everyone else.
Yeah.
I think there's still potential there.
I think that could be cute to, in 40k, have it be like a character trio squad thing of like 3 of the Death Cult Assassins as a unit or something, and then you make them as like an elite kill team that's mixed with like 2 Crusaders or whatever. That could be a cute one to do. We will get into other factions later where kill teams were actually multiple data sheets in 40k. And this one technically is too, because it's got multiple things that got split into different data sheets. But
yeah, Kill Team can be weird like that.
It's fun.
But also kind of confusing sometimes for people getting into 40k and going, how do I buy this model?
Yeah. Or I bought this kill team. What is it in 40k? Well,
you see. Yeah, so like Sisters doesn't really need too much. I mean, if they were looking for a new unit, we can always use more jump packs.
Sure.
So like that'd be cool.
Like on the one hand, Sisters has very nice jump pack models. On the other hand, I don't think anyone ever says no to jump pack models because they're cool.
Well, and like Sisters has really cool jump pack models, so let's just keep doing it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm fine with that being the wish list item then.
But let's move on to one that doesn't have quite so many kill teams. On the other end, we've got Adeptus Custodes with no kill teams.
The lowest number, 0. There's a few factions that have 0. Several of them are knight shaped, but Custodes is one that has 0. And obviously the one to point out is we got the nice refresh in Horus Heresy of the Custodians. If you were going to do some range expansion via kill team, the game where Custodians are really hyper elite and probably not the easiest thing to put in the game, we want to look at Anathema Psychana.
Which honestly I think fit really well. Like right now, all of them, all 3 units are one kit that just you choose the different options.
And it's a very basic, this is just the basic form of this.
It looks fine, but it's the basic form of it. And you can do so much more if like somebody was able to actually focus on it, like a kill team modeler actually going to town and making these like each cool units kind of thing. That would be awesome.
And with the new Horus Heresy Venatari that just came out and looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Talking about making some jump pack Anathema Psychana, that could be neat.
Hey.
Now we get Sisters of Silence who are hyper mobile. They're really squishy compared to a Custodian, but in kill team that makes them a bit more balanced. You can have more than like 2 of them in play.
Right.
But I think that's a cool range expansion for Custodes that helps out the fans of Sisters of Silence to have some more of them. Gives you more variety in that part of the army, so it's not just like literally you buy this kit ad nauseum to make the 3 units and 1 character you can make out of it.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job of giving you the options to make them look different, but like if you really look It's pretty obvious.
And kill teams, because they tend to have so many options, could even go the route of in 40k it can build the decked out option that's like a more elite version, and then the lesser option that is a more basic version of it, you know, even though it's one kit and it's just in kill team options for how you make each one of your models have certain guns or certain upgrades or whatever.
Yeah, Kill Team does get away with a lot more of just like, here's sprues with a bunch of shit on it. Pick and choose what you want.
Yeah, Commandos is amazing, man. That kit's so sweet.
It's great. And there are some units in 40k that would be confusing and kind of annoying. There are other ones that it's like, Commandos. No, it's great. Just build it however you want. It's going to be awesome.
But yeah, you could even argue that you might be able to get 2 different types of Sisters of Silence out of this to get like up to 5 data sheets in a character. And then maybe the 40k team makes their, you know, jump Sister of Silent character, and boom, now you've got the quote unquote range expansion for that side easily.
Yeah, I mean, that does get it to a point where it's like a proper section of the army, as opposed to like now where it like technically is.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another one that has 0 kill teams, though. I want to talk about Grey Knights.
You're not just getting your paladins, Eric.
But
You can't just wish for what you always wish for.
why not? But why not? Okay.
Eric's like, look, the 40k team failed me.
I've been let down.
For the entire Terminator edition, they forgot the pure Terminator faction's Terminators.
Yeah. We talked about like Custodes has potential problems of like the actual Custodian Guard type models being super elite. You could probably only have like 2 of them. Grey Knights, similar problem.
I actually think your argument for Grey Knights should not be your Terminators unless you're bait and switching me.
How'd you know?
It should be the strikes.
We need a refresh on the strikes, which would force the 40k team to do a refresh on the Terminators.
Yes. I 100% agree with this.
I'm so irritated that you called that right before I was going to jump in.
It's so insanely correct that it's painful.
I set it up even in the show notes. I didn't put shit about the strikes there. I was like, oh, got him. I've got him.
It especially makes sense because the strikes, having built several of them, the strikes is an options galore package because it makes entirely alien units. You can make a heavy shooting squad, a jump pack squad, although it's kind of cheating because it's literally just like a little antenna on a backpack, but whatever, and a normal infantry squad out of a single unit. And it's like, that's exactly how kill team stuff looks.
It is perfect for kill team to be like, here's your base unit and then all of the options however you want to do it.
So now you've got your guy who's got his heavy machine gun. Now you've got your guy who's got his jetpack to get up to the high ground. Now you've got your guy who's set up with the cheap build.
Yeah, I think that is actually a reasonable thing for them to do. And then again, like, you know, boost the scale from what they were.
Sure, just make them Primaris size. Whether you call them a Primaris upgrade or not, it doesn't fucking matter.
But like, if it's larger, then it kind of gives that extra, hey, 40k team, you should really look at these Terminators, because like when you put them next to each other, which one's the Terminator? So like, I do think that there are cases for Grey Knights to actually be in kill team. Custodes was one of those, like they have the Anathema Psychona part of the army. Well, I think the strikes still fit pretty well. There are Space Marine alternative models like Deathwatch kill team, so like it's not too crazy.
Yeah, I have no issue with the strike angle. As long as we go with that angle, I'm good.
I'm on board. We're getting Grey Knights. It's gonna happen. Save me, kill team.
Do we want to leave the Imperium for a bit?
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Let's open up the Pandora's box right away so that it can be brought up if we need to later. Tyranids has 1 kill team. Technically 2. This is where it gets weird.
It is a little weird.
So the base kill team is the Raveners, which became a dual kit in 40k because again, options.
Very cool.
And then our other one here is the Red Terror, the named monster.
Big scary thing, which is like very much not what you would expect out of kill team, which is mostly focused on infantry units. It may be elite to a certain point, but not like super hyper elite, and definitely not big monsters.
Yeah, so this is the kill team expansion they made where you have like boss fight mode. Nemesis Operatives. It's basically an excuse for you to buy a big fancy model as a kill team player when you're like, I can only ever buy infantry models. That's what it exists for as a mode. It's an excuse to get you to start buying other things and then go, whoops, now I'm a 40k player too. Oops, now I own $40 million $100 worth of this product. That's GW's ideal customer.
It is kind of perfect. And it also feels like there might be an amount of like some of the kill team modelers wanted to do something other than just infantry.
Yeah.
And so like, how do you make it happen? Well, this works.
So I get that we can ask for monsters and vehicles because this exception exists. However, I'm gonna say let's not ask for that and let's focus on the infantry portion. And when these randomly occur, we can all clap and cheer and say, holy shit, it's so cool. But for the Catan Nightbringers, oopsies of the world when Kill Team accidentally showed that one off too early, for anything like that, we're gonna push these exceptions into a corner for a moment when we're making wish lists. Or it's just going to turn into every time Eric and I make a wish list and we ask for stupid new giant monsters.
But it is one of those to keep in mind of like, you brought up the Nightbringer, which technically isn't, but it really seemed like it was a kill team thing that they just...
Yeah, so the Nightbringer is an interesting one. This is the one singular exception case that we found where technically it was not packaged as a kill team model, but it came out with a kill team release. It got unique kill team rules. They just didn't put it in a kill team box. They put it in a normal 40K box that coincidentally came out the exact same day as the kill team box.
With articles about the Catan being included is like, hey, this is a thing.
And accidentally leaking through said showing it off with the kill team. Everything about this seems like it was the prototype for what the Red Terror would eventually be the reveal of. It came out with like unique kill team rules for Fight the Catan.
It just also is one of those like releasing Catan into kill team is scary. So maybe we don't fully jump off right now until we test some things out.
Yeah, I fully buy that Catan Nightbringer was the prototype for will this cause some explosive negative reaction and should we not launch a book about how this is the new game mode with the first model? And then nothing horrible happened and they're like, all right, next model, book, and we announced the mode. And then Red Terror happened.
Because it's one of those that like doing it with a Catan is scary because like the Catan fundamentally are just a problem. But if that doesn't break it, then like, okay, we might be onto something. And yeah, so far we've got the Red Terror as the first official endorsement kind of thing. There is more and more potential for these monsters, but at the same time, yeah, I think let's try and stay away from it. And when it happens, it'll be a nice treat.
Yeah, and when it happens, it'll be when we're wish listing knights, and it's like, what else are we gonna wish for, guys?
Yeah.
Guess what? This is what we're doing. But we're still in Tyranids, so let's talk Tyranids.
Yeah. So like Tyranids has a pretty large range, and they just got a lot of new units refreshed.
Yes, it is a greedy time to ask for something. Like at all points in history as a Space Marine player.
But there's always something you can ask for, right?
There is. There's always something that hasn't been updated. There's always something that you think of that would be a sweet new dream unit. There's always something that existed in a single White Dwarf article in 1992 that you can point to and go, but it's in the lore.
Yes. I do feel like Gargoyles should get a refresh, though.
Yeah, that's a clear winner. Thumbs up, baby. Absolutely.
I think that could fit into a kill team with something else, probably.
No, I think Gargoyles is a fine one. The other one I can think of is Shrikes, also known as Winged Warriors, a thing that existed and no longer exists and was like a Forge World resin piece of shit. But you could do Shrikes or Winged Warriors or whatever we call them now. Could do Gargoyles. Another, again, not gonna say anything bad about updating that sculpt. Yikes.
It's like endearing, but also...
It almost gets to skink cute, where skinks are horribly outdated, but they're so fucking adorable that it's kind of a win.
Yeah, Gargoyles are like right there. But they could use the update.
They could use the update.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing was like maybe the Melceptor, but like, let's try and stay away.
Let's not get into monster stuff.
Yeah, there's still a few things that the kill team can do for Tyranids. And then, yeah, there's just like, you can just keep making new things.
You can always invent a new Tyranid.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about both knights?
I mean, we've kind of brought it up, so.
It's the one that I have to break the rule on, so I just want it done with, and I think I can dream up infantry for the rest of these. But Chaos Knights, instead of giving us just another war dog, right? Which I know, I know GW wants to do.
I was like, it's just gonna be a war dog if we're gonna get anything, but okay.
Give me a cool, fucked up, chaos warped thing. Show me the chaos corruption of a knight. Do not just make it a knight with spikes, goddammit. Make it a weird 8-legged spider knight. Make it something hideous.
Are we okay with it being smaller though? Like war dog, but not a war dog.
It can be war dog size. Like the Red Terror is bigger than a war dog, but like it's in the realm. He's just on a really fat base.
Okay.
The Dreadnought is another example of one of the boss monsters, and that's essentially War Dog sized. It's a little chunky, but War Dog sized. So that size is fine, but give me something real fucked up. Make me go, whoa, that's chaotic. Maybe not current Chaos Spawn, which we'll be talking about you later, boys. Give me something weird.
But there is a large gap that can be filled between current War Dogs and Chaos Spawn. And there's some cool stuff there. It would be interesting to see what Kill Team modelers could come up with for that.
Yeah, and I know we always get this every episode for like the last year of people being like, well, technically, there's not actually a difference between the AOS team and the 40K team and the Kill Team for modelers.
Sure.
It's just based on the IPs and stuff. Shut up.
It seems very obvious that some teams have certain choices that they're allowed to make, while others don't.
Yeah. When the 40K team stops making Sanguinary Guard and every boring ass Space Marine I've ever seen and start making the crazy shit AOS is doing,
yeah,
I will start giving equal respect between these and stop pretending they're different teams. I am being fooled by Tuxedo Mask right now, okay?
But on the other side, Imperial Knights, that one's a little tougher.
It is, but Imperial Knights doesn't have all the War Dogs. So doing like a Sword and Shield baby knight, giving us our third Armiger, and having it be very royal looking and very uncorrupted looking.
I keep forgetting that you only have the two.
Yep, they just have the original two. I guess there's also the Moirags, but whatever.
Yeah, so like there is room for another Armiger, but at the same time, that one's going to be, I don't know, that's a very unexciting Red Terror to me.
I think if you knight it up, if you give it a full cool looking shield and a beautiful sword and go, here's your boss monster for whatever chaos team to fight, you can make that look real goddamn cool on a package. And sure, in Little Timmy's head, the protagonist is the honorable knight and not the team taking it down. But like, it doesn't really matter if it gets them to buy into the game. And then they go, wait, no, I like chaos more because I'm based.
Okay, I think that there is potential there. But I mean, that's enough knights and enough talking about not Kill Team boxes faction. Let's go to the other side. Let's go all the way to Chaos Space Marines with 5 Kill Teams.
Okay, so the main characters of Kill Team, the Space Marines of Kill Team is Chaos Space Marines.
It's true.
It is true. The most Kill Teams that exist for a faction, 5, and it is Chaos Space Marines.
It makes sense because you still want to have the like power armor, because like this is still 40k, so you want to have power armor, but like you can do Space Marine, like normal Imperium Space Marine stuff whenever. 40k teams got that locked down, as it were. So like, okay, what do you do then?
Right, it's like, I've already got Mickey Mouse. I want to use Mickey Mouse to sell my product, but I don't need Mickey Mouse to get more stuff. Well, I have Mickey Mouse with a mustache. I'll use him to sell this product.
And so we've got a bunch of cool Chaos Space Marine, which fits so well.
And it's nice because it's a faction that manages to now get regular updates, at least at an infantry scale.
Yeah.
That isn't just Space Marines. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
So to go through what they've got already, they got the Legionary upgrade sprue that made the Legionnaires more different and fancy. We got our cool caster book, very important to me. I like wizards, okay?
No, that's fair. It's just like, I feel like you're underselling how much you like it, but we can keep going.
Some would say I play a whole faction or two around that fact, or 4. And then we've got the Felgor Ravagers, which are not just Man in Tin Can. Shout out. Very unique, but technically still under the CSM umbrella.
Honestly, really cool that they're here, just like for 40k overall, that like the Felgor Ravagers are in existence and playable.
We have the Blooded Kill Team, which again, it falls under CSM just because they don't have a faction, but it's Traitor Guard. And technically the character already existed because of Blackstone Fortress or whatever, but the rest is a new team. They're a new kit.
Sure.
It's new other than the random character thrown in. And then we have the Murder Wing, which is also like the new Raptors, but they've got their Night Lords exclusive mode. And we've got the Nemesis Claw, which is like the Night Lords exclusive version of Legionaries, honestly.
I mean, they look cool.
They do look cool. And it's again, it shows off that you could do this for all the other legions and give them, it's a legionary, but here's the differences.
Honestly, I'm in support of that. I kind of like that idea quite a bit.
Look, it's your backup plan that you keep in the back pocket when you're like, we had a down quarter. I need a freebie. I've got a hangover. I got to design this by Friday. let's do another Legion. Everyone will clap.
I think, yeah, probably not that exact scenario, but
That hit closer to home to so many engineers than you want to believe.
yeah, that is very true. But I do think like that is one of those like over a few years, you know, as we keep getting more of these releases, like, yeah, sprinkle those in and that's awesome. But because CSM has so many kill teams already, it is a larger faction. So it's like, does CSM really need kill team?
Look, it's not a high need, but it's a safe bet, and it lets you put something awkward in the other slot should you want to.
That's true.
Like, not every faction is equally beloved. Genestealer Cults, it's not going to rank that highly in a popularity poll.
No.
Everybody knows that. But if you put it against, I don't know, a well-beloved legion of Chaos Space Marines who get a new exclusive sculpt, you can sell that versus box and get your Genestealer Cults their new unit.
Yeah, I think that's a great shout. There are a couple refreshes that they do still need because like CSM does have some older models.
That happens when you have a giant range.
It does, especially when you're not getting constant releases. I'm gonna give a shout to the Chaos Spawn. I hope they fix that.
Yeah.
Just like start over. Don't even like that. Just ignore it and start over from scratch and go wild, do your own thing.
Just start by taking the lawyers out back, throwing a frisbee, leave them outside, lock the door. Now, go over to my mini factory and look at all the better Chaos Spawn that exist for your game. With the lawyers not present. Fuck those guys. But there are so many people making Chaos Spawn I like so much more that I can't show off on this show because it will get them doxxed. But I like them more than I like your Chaos Spawn.
And like the Chaos Spawn have the options, like you get like a bunch of weird arms or whatever. It didn't work when it was originally, but that is the kind of thing that Kill Team can do. They can put a bunch of options, a bunch of unique styles, whatever it is, and go wild with it. So I think that like there is a lot of potential there, and the Chaos Spawn suck. So yeah, Chaos Space Marines might not need Kill Team, but I think it's a safe bet that they're going to show up pretty regularly. And there are still a few models that could use some help. Do we want to jump back over to the Imperium though?
Sure. Who do you want to hit? Shall we cover Space Marines? We just did CSM.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so Space Marines, for once, you get a free pass. You are not the main characters of today's episode. Be proud.
You still do have a couple kill teams though.
Yeah, you've got 3 of them.
Sort of?
Yeah, this number was weird to count up, all right? This is the one we ended up on. So they made the Phobos upgrade sprue. We're counting that one. So we're saying the Phobos with the upgrade sprue is 1. The Scout Squad, which fantastic new Scout Squad. They still just look like football players to me, but that's how Scouts look at their best.
That is kind of their look.
And then the Wolf Scout Squad, I guess we're going to count as the 3rd one. Technically, this is only for Space Wolves exclusive, but honestly, I'm just lumping all together here.
You're actually not the main character, so deal with it.
Yeah. How's it feel to be one of us? It's great, isn't it? Freeing. Do you want to bitch about CSM being the beloved child? It feels good. I promise you.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I do it to you all the time. You can have one freebie.
Like, this is, you actually get this one. It's fair. So, like, to be real, though, like, Space Marines, they don't need Kill Team to be able to get more models. There's obviously stuff that you can release. There's new models that you can come up with. But, like, they can just do that.
And they do it. So to give you an example here, let me go to my null hypothesis and I will find you the list of random Space Marine models that came out in 10th edition, not at Codex release. The Captain with Terminator armor got a new model. We got a Captain with Jump Pack and Relic Shield model, which we already had a Captain with Jump Pack, but whatever. Ancient and Terminator armor. We got Assault Terminators. We got 7 named characters I'm not even getting into. Another fucking Calgar.
Yeah, we did.
The drop pod randomly showing up.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know. I did too, actually.
There's a few.
Space Marines get a couple models, even when it's not Codex time, because you're a subscription service. You exist to keep everything else profitable. And we salute you for that. God bless you. I say that the way a Southern mother does.
Wow.
Bless your little heart.
There isn't really a need for Space Marines to be looking to Kill Team to fix problems. They can still show up, and that's cool. Like, there are some cool things here, but you don't need it.
But if we're gonna wish for something,
Yeah.
we could do a Sanguinary Guard that have some fucking wings on them.
Yeah.
And maybe are a little less fat looking. They look a little chunky.
They do, but
I think the wings would help the silhouette a lot and make them look less chunky.
I was gonna say, I feel like if you did the wings right, you wouldn't actually notice. It would just be like, oh yeah, that's just a big dude with power armor. Makes sense. All right. But like without the big wings that are cool and like why Sanguinary Guard are cool, they do look kind of fat.
Just saying, if we're going to do a Space Marine model, I'm not going to turn my nose up at Sanguinary Guard that look better.
So that does bring up the fact that kill teams apparently not really doing just upgrades anymore.
Boy, oh boy, did we get more than one comment about that this week. Yes, it turns out we did not know that Kill Team made an entire article saying they're not just doing upgrade sprues and they're doing entirely new kill teams only now. I did not know that. I missed that article. Sorry I missed one.
But I do actually appreciate learning that one, because don't read most of the kill team articles if I'm going to be honest. Wouldn't have ever known otherwise.
Luckily, we have a comment section and they love repeating the same 2 comments, one of which is about feet, so I'm happy to read the other one for a change.
I like them both, but got him.
Eric, I'm dying.
It's good that that's what finally got it.
Oh.
All right, what do we want to move on to from there?
Let's go back to Xenos. There's a bunch of them, and we really haven't talked about them much. Let's do my boys Necrons.
I was going to say, we brought up Necrons and their silliness earlier. So, yeah, they've got some weird kill teams and stuff.
Necrons is a hard one to count here, by the way. This one was confusing and we didn't really land on a solid number at the end. I'm going to say Necrons has at least 1 kill team.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
You've got 1, 2 weird ones, and maybe the Katana if we're counting it.
Yeah.
So, like, let's push the Katana side. I don't want to have that debate. Feel free to debate the Katana in the comments. There we go. Engagement. I did it. But you've got 2 weird ones. They did the Herotech Circle, which has an existing character and a bunch of new sculpts for existing units, but it was only like singular dudes. It's got 3 out of the 5 you need to build a Deathmark squad. And then it's got 1 Immortal, and it's got an Assistant Technomancer or Assistant to the Technomancer. This model has no 40k rules that I have ever heard of, unless someone's going to point to me some Legends sheet I don't know. And we've got 2 little Plasmacytes who are like reminder tokens that we can use sort of, kind of like Tau drones, sort of, but whatever. They don't really do anything here either.
It's a weird kill team.
This kill team did not end up getting sold as a thing long term, probably because it does not have 40k rules.
Probably.
Which we're going to find is a common theme of the ones that were really weird, didn't last long. Then we've got the Flayed ones, which is another weird one to count. So the Flayed ones and the Chronomancer are technically the release of those models, but I didn't like counting it because they came out with the Codex. Technically, they got labeled as a release with Kill Team, and they were first in the Kill Team box, but they were part of the 9th edition Codex. You just spread out the models to different games, and that's fine, but like, we saw what you did.
Yeah. Also got the Canoptic kill team, though.
This is the one I'm saying is a solid 1. There is at least 1 I have no issues counting. And this one's a doozy. So this one gave us the Geomancer, it gave us the Tomb Crawlers, and Macrocytes. So it gave us 3 whole data sheets in 40k. Very cool. Very unique way to show off that a kill team can do more with elite unique things that are not just like 5 dudes.
And if you're going to do like a mix of units, that works better for like elite things as opposed to just like 3 out of 5 for this unit.
Yeah, that would have been the time. I'm not saying this is my ideal world, but that would have been the time to split off if they were making a new Immortal kit and then they were making a new dedicated Deathmark kit to be like, Deathmarks come in 3s and are very elite snipers who do shitloads of damage per shot. And then Immortals still come in 5s and have their new dedicated kit.
It would make sense.
But that's not how that was playing out at all. And that's still not how this kill team would have worked anyway.
No.
But anyway, weird history of Necrons and kill team. However you want to count the final count, it's somewhere between 1 and 4.
Which, I mean, does mean that like probably gonna see them show up again at some point.
They're a popular faction. They have a ton of unique things you can dream up for them.
Large model range. They've been around for a long time.
And a lot of uniqueness allowed because Canoptics exist. So you can always be like, Technomancers made even more random robot buddies. And they looked even weirder than the last batch you've seen.
Yeah.
Like, Canoptics mean you can dream stuff up just like with Tyranids all day long. But even without Canoptics, like, we could use another type of destroyer I would take, a more ranged one maybe, more like the original destroyers that are now Locust destroyers.
Yeah, I mean, the entire like destroyer cult, it kind of has enough when you mix it with the extra flayed ones, but like flayed ones then don't have really much.
I almost want to say we could do with a different type of flayed one somehow. Gotta think up what you do there.
I feel like that's a good shout from a like playing the game rules side of 40k, like having another unit that you can be like, this is the flayed ones.
Yeah, and then we obviously all want a flayed lord, and anyone who has read Twice Dead King, there are many ideas for flayed characters.
It would feel a little odd, but the kill team for the flayed ones came out, I guess that was like, what, 2021, something like that. So it's been a while.
And that kit is highway robbery.
A little bit.
A lot of it.
So like you could do it again, and there is still enough unique things that you could do, and it wouldn't be like you're literally just doing it again. Like, you could make it different.
I think you could do a ranged flayed one where like they still think they're flesh and blood shooty boys.
Ah, okay.
Like, because the Necron warriors are supposed to have been what everyone became, right? And then flayed ones are the mutation of you've lost your mind and you start having your liquid metal body like warp into more monstrous form as you like devolve back into hungering for your flesh back.
Yeah, the like remembering that you had flesh at one point and like freaking out.
Yeah, dealing with the dysfract and all that.
Yeah.
The like mid ground that again Twice Dead King has a very nice perception of someone who is trying to keep it together and deal with the dysfract but is still flayed one.
But like it's clearly not fully working. You haven't really hidden it too well, but like you could still function a bit.
The person trying to live with it.
Yeah.
Which I think if we were trying to do another Necron push of range expansion, going that route and showing, I forget the name of the dynasty. I'm so sorry in Twice Dead King. But if we were to go that way, you do a couple different flayed type of models and destroyer type of models as the next range expansion to get into, again, they liked in 9th edition when they were talking about it, delving into the more horrific look of Necrons rather than the clean Silver Tide look.
Yeah.
Going further that way. And it makes them easy to look like bad guys then, even if they're tragic.
True.
Which always looks great when your spaceman is beating the crap out of them on a poster.
I mean, yeah, that does actually kind of matter. The like versus aspect. Yeah, I think that there's potential there for Necrons. I do expect to see them show up again from Kill Team. I don't know what it's going to be like. Blade ones would be pretty cool, but they'll show up again.
All right, Eric. So where do you want to go next?
All right, I want to talk about one that I'm actually kind of shocked has so few kill teams. Let's talk Orks. They've only got 2. And I mean, they started with the Commandos. This is good.
This is good stuff.
This is kill team to me. And I think because it did so wow that it feels like Orks has more, but it's just the Commandos and then the Rekka crew, which was the Breaka Boys and Tank Bustas.
Breaka Boys is a great addition to Orks, by the way.
Fantastic kill team as well. 10 out of 10. So like both of them are fantastic, but they only had 2, which to be fair, the Orks don't really need help from kill team because like they've got a pretty large range. They've gotten a bunch of new stuff over the years.
They especially have a large range in infantry.
Yes.
A lot of the old quote-unquote Space Marine equivalents of Orks, Eldar, like your old main character factions, right, had a lot of variety in infantry because that's what they did because it was probably very cheap to do different sculpts of and make.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some amount of like familiarity with making them and all that stuff involved. Yes.
But you'll find that with all of these older factions, they tend to be the fleshed out ones that have different infantry options. That said, Orks has a lot of really old infantry kits. Now, granted, this will age terribly probably this week while it's being edited.
This is the concern and why I just wanted to get it kind of out of the way.
So they have not revealed Ludas or Burna Boys or Flash Gits or anything like that. So we can easily wish for any of those, and they will probably appear next week as just a normal 40k kit that hasn't been revealed yet that's coming out with the Codex in a couple months.
So I feel like the Ludas, Burna Boys are like a foregone conclusion because they're already removed from the site.
Are they straight up removed now? They were just like permanently out of stock for a while.
I couldn't find them, but I didn't look too hard. I used the search, so maybe I give it a like 70% chance that they're actually gone. But they have been like out of stock for a while. So like the Ludas and Burna Boys are like, they're gonna happen. They're gonna get a refresh. The Flash Gits, I think you can still get those.
And man, that's a perfect call.
The Flash Gits are kind of perfect for Kill Team, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a ton of character in an infantry kit you can do. Like that's commando level zany stupidness.
And you could do whatever. You can really just do whatever you want with Flash Gits and it makes sense.
They can have, yeah, like any any option, it'll totally work. Yes, perfect kill team, honestly. And then you just have them paired up on a box with a super serious alternate faction, and it'll look great on a box of like zany orcs versus very serious guys.
That works, honestly. Hadn't thought about like who they go up against just because it was like slam dunk anyways, but yeah, that fits well. I mean, there is still a bunch of options. It's just one of those that like all the like squig side is pretty new, so they don't really need anything.
Squigs is also weirder because they tend not to do cavalry level stuff or higher.
Right.
They tend to keep it as infantry level. And you could do maybe like a squig herd unit for something new if you want to do range expansion.
Yeah, there is still potential there.
It just seems weird from a kill team perspective as like, can you imagine a squig herd acting as a kill team, acting as individuals doing things intelligently? Like it just makes no sense compared to a bunch of pirate orcs, which feels perfectly kill team in my head now that we've said it.
Yeah, I feel like Orks is gonna come up again at some point just because like, I mean, it's Orks.
They're probably one of the top ranked, most beloved factions in all of the setting. Yeah, from every angle.
That makes sense. I feel like Flash gets fit fantastically. Ludas, Burna Boys, those would fit as well, but I feel like the primary 40k teams probably got something cooking. I do want to give a shout for the Grot tanks as a potential, maybe we want to try vehicle at some point instead of the monster. A Grot tank could be the tie between.
It's still like the size of a custodian at most.
Like a Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's basically a Terminator. Look, vehicles. And it's a squad of like 5 Grot tanks.
I don't think that's going to happen. I have no like real expectation of that happening. But if you wanted to try it out, I feel like that's a good in between. Okay, let's see how we feel about this kind of thing.
Now that we're hitting ones that are like 10 out of 10 ideas and I love, GW, these are all free. Steal away. Please make these. Thumbs up.
I mean, Orcs have a lot of things that you can like make new as well. Infinite potential.
I think blood axes are generally underrepresented as a type of orc.
Yeah.
And I feel like blood axes in general are like commandos technically fall under that spectrum of orc. I think you could do something like that, like orderly orcs, scarily efficient orcs, orcs in like tattered uniforms. I don't know what you call the squad.
The Orcs that are like actually trying to
Be a military. Yeah.
a proper military.
Yeah. Cause like blood axes in lore are terrifying when they show up.
Oh, absolutely.
Orcs that take their job seriously for orcs are terrifying.
Orcs are terrifying. The only reason that they're not is because the lore gives them a funny veneer.
The funny nerf of like, but they're all dumb as bricks. But then blood axes are like, they're not quite as dumb.
Yeah, they're not quite as dumb as you actually think.
Extra scary because if an orc was smart, good lord.
There is definitely potential there. And if you're going to do it, you want like kill team amount of detail to kind of show it off.
To be fair, the new orc boys even look great.
They do.
Those sculpts are so good.
Yeah.
We say like kill team amount of detail on the models, but like I think everything 40k wise, they just love orcs. Those new models are so good looking.
It does kind of seem like Orcs get a lot of attention, and rightfully so. All right. But I do want to move into a faction that has a few kill team kits and did not shock me at all. Let's talk about Chaos Demons.
How many kill teams kits did it have, Eric?
It didn't have any.
Wow, what a shock.
Yeah, can you imagine?
How many am I expecting it's going to get ever, Eric?
Oh, none. It's not happening.
So, to timeline this, if you're watching this in the future, we are past the point where now we know demons will exist all of 11th edition, thankfully. It was touch and go there for a minute.
Yeah, I think it was, I wasn't quite as concerned.
Demons have had issues because of things that have been leaked from GW internally of there's some type of bean counting issue with the fact that it's playable in multiple games, and there's possibly something about you never know which game sales they should count for, so it upsets the bean counters because they can't tell who's most profitable and make everyone fight each other. So demons get screwed sometimes because their whole point is gluing together all of your IPs into one.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like the strength from an IP aspect of demons is exactly that you don't know like what actual game they're buying it for. It could be both, and that's great. But I also don't really feel like Chaos Demons is expected into Kill Team just from like an idea.
It's such a cool idea though.
It could absolutely do. There's plenty of potential, and like there's a lot of of infantry potential for demons.
There's so much. Anything that's not a character has potential in demons. It's painful how looking at the history of demons models, we've talked about this 100 times, and I know this is just a thing I can talk about all day, but you could do so much with demons. Let's get some bigger corn demons who have some meat on them and aren't the gangly little nothings that are bloodletters. Let's have big boy bloodletters, things that make a Terminator cower, something that can bench press him.
I'm totally on board with that. But like, even if we're like looking at Kill Team to fix things, like they could do a Bloodletters refresh, and that would be still cool because they need some refreshing.
Sure. So Kill Team has the issue of it likes to have unique stuff, and the demons horde units don't.
Yeah.
So I think if I'm dreaming up for like my realistic sales pitch to like get on my knees and beg,
The more elite style stuff.
something where the Kill Team can have fun.
Yeah.
At least if it's a bigger demon, we can go, this guy's got a hammer. This guy's got two other guys' arms that he ripped off.
Yeah.
Like, you can do something there. Or can you imagine a Tzeentchian Kill Team? Every model is entirely unique. It's all weird. Everything is a horrifying cosmic horror. It's what Tzeentch is in every bit of lore, but never on tabletop.
It's wild how few actual units are in Chaos Demons, ignoring characters.
Yeah, when you take characters out, it's shocking when you go down to a god level of you've got like 3 things in this army, maybe 5.
And like that includes a battle line unit.
Yep. They are very anemic outside of characters.
There's a lot of potential for refreshing, but there's also just infinite potential for new units that are cool. And honestly, Chaos Demons could take advantage of that. You really want more of that kind of stuff for the faction. It would be great if Kill Team actually started putting demons in their boxes, but...
And while I talk about how demons have the issue of their faction agnostic, so thus they always have very basic gear on them, Kill Team is a great place to have the excuse of having 2 extra sprues in there, one of which has chain swords for some corn stuff for a more 40k setting where they're picking up a bunch of Space Marine parts and putting them on them to screw with everybody as they're chopping them all up, right?
Yeah.
And then having the more AOS side, cleaner, normal swords and stuff and different type of gear that they could be slapping on themselves to look scary to people in a different setting. And now it's all option based. In Kill Team, it's all hilarious because it's like they're coming out of the warp from God knows what other dimension with gear from who knows what time period, because time is a flat circle in 40k land and the warp means nothing to time.
They're Chaos Demons. Yeah, that makes sense. It's weird.
Demons is the most painful part of this setting to talk about because it is so much always untapped potential for some reason that I'm sure I would scream if I found out because I work a day job.
There has to be something like that because there is just so much. And it would be great to see Kill Team move into that as well. I don't think it's very realistic, but I also didn't expect the Red Terror. So... You know what? Maybe.
Look, I banned myself from mentioning all the monster ideas you can do in Demons because I want those, but like AOS team could do it. 40k team could do it. Literally anyone, please, please. My money will be not safe.
Immediate 3-0.
3? You get me as many options as the Defiler has on a bunch of demons, I'll build an illegal number. I'ma glue that shit. I ain't magnetizing, baby. Painting them all weird as shit, too.
Yeah. I mean, let's move on to Thousand Suns, because you talked about, making a bunch of unique Tzeentchian things. Thousand Suns probably has a lot of potential as well, so they probably have a bunch of Kill Team kits.
So they have 0.
Ah, right.
We're going to say that a couple times when we talk through Chaos here, by the way. Thousand Suns is an interesting one to talk about. Everyone's going to meme on Zongor. To defend Zongor for a minute here, I still love you. You're still weird little guys. I don't know what else to call you.
Weird little mutants.
My little goat bird boys. But like, all right, we have Rubric Marines. We have Sots. So we've got our Terminator. Yeah, he's a little short by modern standards, but whatever. And we've got Zongor, and everyone's going to make that meme joke. But let's move Zongor aside, and let's focus on the other 2. If we're going to increase what Thousand Suns has access to, lore-wise in 30k, we had the dual-wielding sword, Thousand Sun, normal, quote-unquote, strike Marine, as Eric would say, but like a Rubric equivalent, right?
Sure.
So we could go with that route and you could have a bunch of like melee blender type. The more, I don't know how I want to word it, but like a finesse unit that is using their psychic abilities to enhance their physical abilities, but they're not that much better at physical abilities than a normal, like they're possibly like on the lower end of physical abilities by default as far as Space Marines go, but they just use their psychic powers to act like a World Eater or a Emperor's Children in combat.
So like something Flawless Blades style once they've properly buffed themselves up.
Yes, but I'm not asking for you to get jacked like them. I still want it to look like a rubric.
Yeah, you want to be a nerd, but like you let the wizard buff himself and now he's scary.
You nailed it. The Overlord end of season 1 buff fest.
Yeah. Dude, I'm here for that. That would be cool. And okay, Thousand Sons, I mean, you could do one of those like, let's try and refresh like Grey Knights, but I feel like Thousand Sons really just needs more infantry units.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it so many times. I've dreamt up, you put some heavy boys with some heavy guns on some discs, fly them around, looks cool as hell, but again, that's more of a 40k team type thing. Rubrics with swords, everyone loves the idea of.
There's just like potential for proper like infantry unit that's, you know, still a Psyker elite, whatever, Thousand Sons, but like you've got 3 infantry units and one of them's a goat thing.
Okay, hear me out on this one. Ready? Here's one I haven't said on a previous episode because I just thought it up.
Oh shit.
Take a Rubric Marine, replace the power pack with a jump pack. All right, now take the jump pack off because a jump pack is boring. Instead, it's those like big scarab wings. Like, you know what I'm talking about? How a scarab has like the exoskeletal semicircle wings that then there's like the iridescent clear wings under.
The like kind of beetle-y.
Yeah.
Like scarab wings. You're right.
Like
no,
do that on the back of a rubric for their flyboys.
That'd be cool.
The translucent scarab wing part you have be like, that's magic shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like the metal part is the only part that's real.
Hell yeah, dude.
I just cooked that up. Tzeentch is fantastic and it's so wasted.
That's the kind of thing that you can do with a kill team as well. You can make it unique and like customize the different styles there so that like it actually fits. I don't know why Thousand Sons hasn't gotten something. I guess Kill Team hasn't been making unique new models that long. They'll get there eventually, I hope.
Yeah, and again, there has to be all sorts of different, like, I love thinking about this from the business standpoint of nothing is just made out of pure, like, I feel like we should do this next. It's always, hey, how does this interact with the other things we're working on right now at the company in other ways and our release schedule?
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm starting this today and it will not be finished for 3 years.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot more than just, I had a cool idea for a model. I want to do it.
Yeah, that can happen every once in a while, but a lot of things are parts of larger puzzles. And it's always, there is more to it that I like exploring the ideas of. Anyway.
I mean, since we're here though, do we just want to talk about Emperor's Children real quick?
Sure. Very new faction, obviously zero kill teams. We've talked famously, they have very few kits in general.
So they don't need a refresh. They just need more. And there is plenty of potential. Do whatever, anything.
Technically, we could argue they need a refresh of the Sonic Dread, but that's not coming from Kill Team.
No. And I think Emperor's Children could, like, there's no reason that doesn't work in Kill Team. There is still potential. It isn't one of those, all we have is the Sonic Dread that we like. There's still infantry that would fit perfectly normally.
I said it as a joke, but then I just had the idea of like, if I'm selling this for Kill Team, if we're selling our new game mode, right? And we're doing our operative missions or whatever they're called.
The Nemesis thing?
Nemesis operations. If we're doing that, what if this is where you do the all new Primaris sized Hellbrute that you have all the different options to be the different gods for, and you sell it as a boss monster that you can make all the different varieties of for your Kill Team guys to play against?
I mean, that would be cool. Yeah.
Like, I know this is not what Kill Team is for, but if you're gonna try making the boss mode thing, a build your boss is a kind of sick idea that kind of plays into the whole idea of everyone wanting a Hellbrute that lets you build different varieties for the different factions.
It is actually pretty awesome as an idea. Because, like, you really do want whatever they come up with to have the 4 different options.
Ideally 5+, because you want a generic one for CSM that can be built other ways and be more and less chaos corrupted.
But like, if you're going to do it where there's 4 unique builds, there's almost certainly going to be a a like generic undivided one in there as well, just as like a
Sea Demon Prince.
yeah, right. It would be cool. This seems like a spot that they potentially could do it because of the Red Terror thing.
I again feel like this is, again, it's a 40k thing that 40k team should be solving by just doing that. It's a giant hole in chaos that would get everyone screaming for joy. Like, just imagine showing off all the different builds of a new giant dread equivalent Hellbrute.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but yeah, if we're dreaming something up randomly, that's not just obviously you could do a ton of different infantry ideas because Emperor's Children has very little.
That would be a cool potential alternative, especially if they didn't like want to like step on any potential toes, as it were, of like they're obviously going to finish the rest of the range for Emperor's Children, but we don't actually know like which ones they're going to do. So like if they're going to pass us, the Hellbrute, hell yeah, let's jump on it.
Because you see, there's already a Whole World Eaters Part 2 and Emperor's Children Part 2. They're halfway through the process right now.
Yeah.
There's just some questions about which of these ones are going to be in the final cut. That's definitely the world we live in. It's a happy, cool world.
100%. Absolutely.
We've never been disappointed by reality ever.
Speaking of, let's take a look at Drukhari next.
Fuck you!
I'm so glad you kept that like, I was like, I want to talk about Drukhari or maybe Aeldar. And you're like, never been disappointed. I was like, oh, fucking tee that shit up, man. Out of the park.
Like Charlie Brown with the football. Just face planted.
Yep.
So, Drukhari's had 2 kill teams. I need a second. The first of which, we've had the Mandrakes, and we've had the Hand of the Archon upgrade sprue for the Kabalite Warriors, which I think is a wonderful upgrade sprue. Not the biggest fan of how it was implemented in 40k, but whatever. And then the Mandrakes are a beautiful new version of an old shitty Finecast sculpt, so bravo.
Those Mandrakes are awesome. Love it.
I love my Mandrakes that I kit bash myself, but these ones are gorgeous.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Drukhari definitely has potential other kill teams that they could do, and honestly, they kind of need it. Just a little bit.
I would really appreciate a Drukhari kill team. I know I'm a Covens fan, and thus everyone will be like, Brad, you're just doing this because Covens is your favorite. But hear me out. I would like a Covens-based kill team specifically because that's the part of Drukhari where you can see the most weird shit for these like super complicated sprues with all the options.
Yeah.
Like just some weird stuff going on there. And like it could be like a slightly more elite rack, not grotesque size, nothing that big, because ideally grotesques come from the 40k team and are proper scary grotesques.
I mostly expect that to happen reasonably soon.
We can hope. But like something between a rack and a grotesque to expand Covens a bit. Obviously all 3 parts of Drukhari could use expansion. All 3 parts of Drukhari could use updates, etc. But my sales pitch is for let's do something Coven side between rack and grotesque in size that shows off how multi-tool-esque you can make your horrible HR Giger monstrosity men.
Yeah, and make them like kitted out with different options kind of thing of like what's actually being added to them, as it were.
All right, if you're done slaying me with that awful segue, where do you want to go next this time?
It's been a little while for the Imperium. I'm thinking, let's take a look at Adeptus Mechanicus.
So, the AdMech only have 1 kill team.
Which is a little shocking.
Depending how you count, there's a little bit of a weird count thing here. But we're going to call it 1 kill team. And you can feel free to correct me in the comments, but I'm not going to explain it. But the Battle Clade, which was the new servitors and the characters.
I mean, the servitors it looks great. It is just like, they're just servitors though.
They look good for servitors. I don't like how servitors look, but yes, they're very good servitors, which is weird because I think Cataphren look cool and they're just servitors.
That is a little weird. But AdMech totally fit in this. There's a lot of potential to a point that like the normal models for AdMech are already so detailed.
AdMech looks like an army made out of kill team kits.
Kind of, right?
Even though like they're mostly just very generic kits.
They have that like, I don't know, that like detailed aesthetic to them that just feels each one's bespoke, as it were. What's bespoke mean?
Did that make the final cut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly. There was a bunch that had to be cut because of overlapping.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, that was a whole thing that happened during the recording. I didn't know how much of that made the final cut of that one, and you released it while I was on vacation, so.
It was a little bit of a mess, but Borrelio was able to put a little bit together in there. But it is one of those that like the Adeptus Mechanicus fit here. They honestly just like mesh right into the rest of the units, but also they don't really need. There are things that you could expand on in the range.
They're a new army, and they were a very successful army, clearly, because they kept getting expanded on.
And there's still more that they could do. I would love to see more Electro Priests because I think they're cool. But really, the AdMech are in a fine spot. They don't need Kill Team to save them, as it were.
But that being said, we could dream stuff up all day. AdMech's another army where it literally just takes 2 seconds to dream up a new unit, and you explain it in lore of like, we found a new STC, or they've always been here like this. It's just the AdMech's so weird that everyone just describes them as it's those weird mech boys.
That is very possible, yeah.
All right, but we've talked enough Imperium because there's only like one option left. I guess two.
I was like, we just hopped back to Imperium, but yes, we've talked enough about them.
Let's talk about the better Imperium, Tau.
Tau has a couple kill teams, 3 maybe, some would say.
Because that's what Brad typed.
They've got the Pathfinders.
Yes, so that was just the upgrade sprue. It was one of the first ones that they did an upgrade sprue for. Possibly the first upgrade sprue, question mark.
Unconfirmed.
Not checking exact dates.
They've also got the Vespids.
It was a sick kill team. Vespids looked amazing.
And they've got the Stealth Battlesuits.
Which also look phenomenal, though it pissed off a lot of people because they changed the squad size from 3 to 5, making a lot of stealth suits suddenly not usable in people's collections.
Yeah, that was annoying, but they do look really cool.
They look real nice. The new stealth suit kit looks so pretty.
So like Tau's gotten a few. They fit very perfectly into Kill Team. There's a lot of potential there. I do think that the Vespids show off the most potential for Tau in Kill Team though.
I think we fully agree on this, yes. The idea of if we want to expand auxiliaries, but we want the 40k team focused on expanding more mecha, more Gundam, give me swords on my Gundams, I want laser swords, and we want that for the 40k team, but people still want access to doing more showing off of the other parts of Tau, the fact that they are supposed to be different alien species working together.
Yeah.
This is where we can do it. Let's do, you've never seen these guys before, but they're another part of the Tau Empire.
Yeah, and like you don't have to worry too much about, oh, it's a very unique take. It looks so different. It doesn't look like the faction at all. And it's like, well, I mean, that's one, kind of the point. And two, this is like a unique unit from Kill Team. They did their job.
And also, it's a safe place to put your weird outside bet.
Yeah, like the Felgors.
Yeah, if it fails and falls on its face, it's a random one-off Tau auxiliary that you never expand upon and you go, look, they're part of it.
Yeah.
But if everyone freaks out and goes, oh my god, that's the coolest thing ever, then you just go, well, new expansion of the such and such part of the Tau Empire coming next edition.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, like, they did a massive expansion on the Crute part. That could happen again with a different auxiliary aspect. I feel like Vespid probably isn't it, as much as I do love Vespid.
The new Vespid sculpts are very cool and unique.
You get, like, maybe one more of them, and it's like, yeah, that's awesome, but that's enough.
Yeah, that's kind of like the end of what I can imagine doing with Vespid. Let's just shoot out 1 or 2 other different types. And you could do your Guevesa, whatever they're called, the humans who are part of the Tau Empire. Do a unit of them that's like literally Tau Guardsmen, which ironically I want to talk about this after IG, but spoilers for a second here. When we talk about IG, there's a lot of kits of IG in Kill Team because they're kind of the ideal faction because red shirts work really well in Kill Team.
Yeah, that is 100% true.
So if we get bored of doing them for IG, you can just do another one in Tau to represent the humans that are part of the Tau Empire.
You bring that up, but there's also the Votann, whatever they call them.
The Demiurge? Something close to that.
Sure. I'll take your word on that one. Like that could be like its own like section as well. But there's also like the more weird ones. Trying to think off the top of my head.
There was the one you brought up that was like weird slug people and yeah, things that I didn't even realize were a thing in lore and I'm sure are from a 1982 White Dwarf.
But like that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what Kill Team's for.
As much as 40k is this way in the future, traveling the stars, and there are aliens. Too many fucking humans. Let's get more aliens.
That's always my problem with it. Humans are boring.
I don't even think that's entirely true.
You're in sci-fi. Why the fuck do I want humans? The whole point is to do something different and be interesting. If I wanted humans, I could go look at the zoo, also known as my office.
I like humans, but like, you know, there's other options. And humanoid doesn't have to be it. And like Tyranids don't have to be the only ones that are bug-like or whatever. Like we can do weird shit.
And we can do other weird shit that's not even bugs.
There's a lot of potential, potentially infinite potential, since it's literally just don't do humanoid.
You could do anything but this one thing.
That is the only thing. And really, like, Kill Team has the potential to make those, like, potentially risky maneuvers, especially if they paired it up with a Space Marine, other half of the box or whatever. Like, there's safe bets that you could do so that it isn't that risky, but, like, you can also still collect data and be like, okay, yeah, it sold fine, but people don't like this unit.
All right, we brought them up. Let's just do it right now. IG, the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, etc., etc., etc. The other main character of Kill Team.
They do have a couple.
They've had 4 kill teams. This one makes sense. The idea of Kill Team is like the idea of making one of those infinite many red shirts in the setting feel important in a game mode. So Guard is perfect for this. Your everyman versus your warped weirdo.
I mean, everyman is a little, these are your everymans, but like special ops everyman.
Sure. The everyman you wish you were.
Yes.
The red shirt, but he's a really cool red shirt. Before his brains get blown across the wall, he was doing something action man-y.
Which fits a lot of Kill Team idea.
Honestly, that's the one Kill Team trailer that I absolutely remember. The Deathcore of Krieg one of them versus the Orks. The action man-y, but he's still a red shirt who gets obliterated.
But they're still Orks.
And then Kazarkin, another great one that they did. Then Ratlings, another one they did.
And they had the Tempestus Aquilans as well, which, I mean, I'm a fan.
I like the Aquilans. I was being snotty to the Ratlings because it was funny, but like the Aquilans are cool. And then actually, they've had 5. I miscounted. They are tied for CSM. I thought CSM was alone because the Spectre Squad, I forgot to put them in the count. So they've had 5 different kill teams already. They are tied for first place. The other main character.
Yeah. I mean, that does kind of mean like there's an expectation that there's going to be more kill teams that are doing Astra Militarum stuff.
And again, we love making fun of Space Marines and all that, but there's a reason you find your Mickey Mouse for your game where you can go, I can safely make money off this, and then I can do something weird in slot 2.
Yeah.
So again, more IG models, again, doing all sorts of different infantry for IG is a perfect idea here. This is the setting where they can show off and be something and not just, you know, roll a bucket of dice and then fall over.
It's also one of those that like they could do refreshes on this. Like, for example, potentially Catachan.
Honestly, it's a great shout of like, if they just refreshed Catachan in Kill Team, that's probably enough to make everybody happy. You don't need a whole 15 different types of units that are all Catachan versions of it. Just make Catachan Jungle Fighters, the Kill Team. Give them all their different combat knives, and this one's got a knife in his mouth and then 2 more knives in his hands.
But like, if you give enough options there, it works.
Yeah.
That is probably enough that people will be like, oh yeah, that's awesome. We don't actually need 15 of them. If you gave us 15 more, sure, we'll take it. But like, still perfectly happy with it. I think it would be pretty cool and a successful kill team. There's other potentials. I mean, the Vestroyan just got their like metal reprint. Which is crazy. Probably means the Vestroyan aren't going to be brought back into Kill Team anytime soon. But, you know, possible. There's some cool stuff as well.
You could literally just list off Astra Militarum regiment that exists in lore and that people like and there are images of, but there are not models for. Ta-da, we did it.
Yeah.
It's a safe +5 to your kill teams of like, I want to do this, but it's risky. Well, put it next to some guardsmen and the guards players will go nuts.
It is one of those that like you could make new units.
But you just gotta make another guard squad and put a different hat on him and call him a Vestroyan.
But you don't really have to try too hard if you don't want to.
Guard players ain't picky, man.
No. And realistically, I feel like you do a mix where like, you know, every once in a while you do some type of callback and then you do some new, like whatever new unit you want to put together and release that. And it's super cool. But like Astra Militarum don't really need more units. They've got a pretty good set, but they've definitely got units that could be redone and there's still open potential. So yeah, they're going to have more.
All right, but let's save our last Imperium faction. Let's go back to Xenos. Let's do Gene Genestealers. We talked about them early on.
Yeah, they've only got the one kill team.
Which they feel so, this is just like with AdMech to me, they feel so kill teamy. They already feel like they're perfect for this setting. Like, I can't believe there aren't more of them.
But it's just the Brood Brother kill team, so it is a little weird. I mean, I guess like they don't need a refresh.
No, they're a newer faction. They just need range expansion, which again, all sorts of stuff you could do.
Honestly, I want to see, so like we've got the Acolyte hybrids and the hybrid metamorphs. It's one kit. I feel like they should be two.
Yeah, you want some more variety in your more warped guys.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of trying to make that one kit be distinct, but it's still pretty obvious. Like the entire torso is the same.
If you put them next to each other, I bet you most players, what makes one versus the other?
Yeah.
That is a swing and a miss if that's the case. That's a decent one to want expansion on.
Like there is enough potential with, I'm pretty sure it's the hybrid metamorphs or the not battle line one. There's enough potential there that like you could do something with kill team and like actually make them unique, make them noticeable.
This guy's got his crab claws.
Yeah, you don't have to go like too crazy, but there's like a big change between like them and aberrant size kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, so you're saying like a beefier version to feel like a midpoint between an acolyte and an aberrant.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if you're going for a slightly more elite Genestealer cult feel, but you don't want to be bulky muscle beachy,
Yeah.
we could do, so we've got our bomb girl, right?
It's like the Saboteur or something like that.
Yeah, Saboteur. Thank you. I would like to see her get a unit version, and then you can James Bond each of them up into a Mission Impossible group of different demo guys.
Ooh.
Like basically the unit version for her to quote unquote lead, even if we're going with she's a lone op and they're just a special unit, right?
Yeah, but like now you've got like a demo squad.
Yeah, but like the commandos to her Snikrot.
Ooh, well, I like that.
There you go. That's what I'm asking for.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a good amount of potential still in Genestealer Cults. Like, it actually isn't that large of a range, so like you can do stuff still.
Again, you could do all sorts of new stuff. I think Metamorphs is a good shout for something that you could try doing a more unique kit of. That was an interesting one. I hadn't thought of that versus just doing new stuff.
Yeah, that particular one's always kind of annoyed me on how samey they are, but realistically, new stuff, like you're bringing up some really cool idea there.
I can just win you over immediately by being like, what if we did this? But it's like commandos. You know, oh,
And like, all right.
I love commandos.
I'm sold.
So hear me out. They're like a normal World Eater squad, but they're like commandos. Whoa.
Hell yeah. Bankroll it.
What if Gruul but slightly sneaky?
Oh, it's perfect. It really is.
The ogre put his hood up. He's so sneaky.
I mean, you brought it up. Let's talk World Eaters next then.
All right. That wasn't really the segue I was hoping for.
I'm already sold on the commando one, but like, let's try a little bit harder.
All right, so everyone's going to scream Red Butchers, and they're right.
Yeah.
It's the Red Butchers. They don't have a bespoke Terminator model, which is weird when you're one of the ones where everyone can name the name of your Terminators. It's so strange. I don't get it.
It is odd. The World Leaders only have the one kill team currently, which is the Goremongers, and that one's a little odd as well. So like they have the Jackals already. I don't know. It's a fine kit, but I support your decision there. That is a good one. Well, like, okay, World Eaters still is missing a lot of models. We can't even really say like, oh, they're like Emperor's Children. They're pretty new. World Eaters been here for a little while now.
It's time for part 2 of their range. Hopefully it happens this edition, and then we have a lot less complaints about World Eaters.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, they're half a faction, including all the stuff they still can steal from CSM, which is a weirdly limited list.
It is really quite odd, and it feels like some of the decisions are made with future sight in mind of what models they're going to potentially make, or who's got like, oh, we want to do this. But like, I mean, we don't know anything like that. I do feel like World Eaters work as a really good evil part to the kill team,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're going to do a versus box, like they're obviously evil kind of thing, you know, to anybody who's just kind of like browsing and is like, ooh, what's this?
These are the ones you can have be fighting your super noble Imperial Knight, trying to take it down.
Honestly, Actually, yeah, that works.
That's actually a sweet sales pitch for that being one of the Nemesis operatives or whatever.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I could see that working quite well. Let's try a little bit more difficult one, though. We've got Death Guard. This is like the one of the 4 that actually is seen enough to be a full faction.
It's true. Death Guard, as far as it goes, eats pretty well compared to the other dedicated god chaos factions.
And yet, 0 kill teams.
Which I feel like that's part of the thing, is like they've been trying to do the parts of chaos that haven't gotten representation. That's why they did a couple Night Lord things to try to get that there. And then maybe they do like Word Bearers next or something. I don't know. But maybe that's the thought process there of like the 40k team is going to be handling expanding these whole dedicated armies. We'll try to prop up the alternate types of CSM.
And so, like, technically the Death Guard had Plague Marines, but like that was the intro box. Doesn't count because it wasn't unique or whatever. So yeah, I mean, with that in mind of like, they don't really need anything.
What do we want?
What do we want? Like, there's always more that you can want.
Death Guard is one of the ones I think could most do a non-space marine. So the Death Guard in Lord of Silence has a whole spiel about how they embrace their mortal followers as well, because they all just get twisted and warped. Like, what in game is just poxwalkers?
Yeah. You've got the like Papa Nurgle, everybody's happy. Even the mortal followers are on board.
But poxwalkers are like the idiot version, like the average Joe turned into a zombie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have their like pseudo immortal, quote unquote, mortal followers. Like they're non-space marines. They're average humans who are like competent undead.
Not just zombie fill-in.
Yeah. And it could be kind of cool to show that off with like a more elite non-space marine part of the mortal Nurgle followers, the non-demons.
That would be cool, and it definitely is one of the like missing elements to Death Guard at the moment. And yeah, they could do some pretty cool stuff with that. Because if they're going to be like on the more elite side, then yeah, you can make them actually have options and not just it's a shambling zombie horde thing.
Yeah, and I think the idea of like the undead zombie with its wits about it can be shown off in a model in a really cool, kind of haunting way. Think of it like in a Resident Evil or whatever, when you've got like your nemesis zombie. I don't mean like actual nemesis, but like you've got like your nemesis zombie that's like okay, I don't really have issues with the randos that I have to kill, but like this one is like my problem throughout the game. Give me a unit of them. You can model that and make it look real interesting.
Yeah, you said that and I was immediately thinking of like the Left 4 Dead like hunter or smoker or something like that. I'm trying to remember what they actually were.
Sure. The guy who like strangled you with his tongue, and
yeah,
there was the one that screamed. There was the fat guy.
There's the fact. Yeah,
it's been a long time since we played Left 4 Dead. Boomer, that was the name. Boomer.
You could always need to make that call.
Bill's here.
But like, I mean, that kind of does show off, at least in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, there are ways to make unique aspects to that smart-ish zombie kind of thing going on there.
And there's some argument Gellerpox Infected was like something like that. But again, they were just like...
Weren't they just like fat?
Yeah, it was more monstrosity than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a zombie who still wears their hat and their jacket and still has their medals from their service.
Yeah.
Like that type of scary.
Yeah, I could see that working pretty well. That would be cool. Yeah, I'm here for it. I don't really expect to see Death Guard commonly show up because they don't really need it, but there is still potential for them to show up every once in a while and kill team. And I mean, I think it'd be cool because like Death Guard models are awesome. It's another one like the AdMech of like the core models are really cool. Very detailed, I suppose. All right, so how about we move on to Leagues of Votann then? Because they've got at least one kill team. I know that.
Yeah, so they got like 2, but it's weird. It's like Necrons. So the easy one, we've got the Jaegers.
Hell yeah.
They look sick. I love their coats. Fantastic. They were really fun to paint. Then we've got the Hearthkin Salvagers, which a lot like with the one Necron one, where when it couldn't get 40k rules, it just kind of like poofs.
Yeah.
Because this one's like, it's a Hearthkin upgrade, but but in like ways where like one now has a jump pack. So how do we do rules for that?
The jump pack, I feel, is the big problem. Like everything else, you can be like, all right, we'll figure out a way.
The one guy who is boxing you with Kestis on, sick as shit, by the way.
That was cool.
Give me some boxing dwarves with some electric Kestis on.
The monkey paw curls, they're naked.
Oh, don't do that. Keep the fucking armor on.
That's 100% berserks.
Ugh, I hate slayers.
The Hearthkin Salvagers is really cool. They look awesome, but because of how unique they are with the different loadouts, they went a little too far.
It was this is kill team for the sake of kill team, which is a totally correct way to do things. However, kill team for the sake of 40k is the point of this episode.
And so like that one is a little weird.
But they've done at least one kill team that ended up in 40k. So Leagues of Votann is kind of open-ended. Again, it's a smaller range. It's had its first attempt at an expansion and it went pretty well. Steeljacks are cool as shit.
I think they've done a pretty good job of hitting a lot of the expectations.
I think if I was going to ask for a kill team expansion, I'm a fan of Ironkin, but you don't need an Ironkin squad. You just show an Ironkin in any squad.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be like just normal people as far as their society is concerned.
We've got the Steeljacks for that kind of thing. And
yeah. But I think the idea of like do the power lifter type thing they've got on the Thunderkin, but have them wielding melee stuff, kind of more industrial equipment that's too heavy. Instead of mining lasers, do like actual drills and saws, more like Genestealers does with that aspect.
Yeah.
To be your heavy melee boys, just as a different thing in that level of armor.
Yeah, no, it could be cool.
You can do a weird squad size. Let's do 4. Let's get crazy with it. Upset people for all time that they come in 4s.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit.
For some reason that makes me smile of like, I love knowing this will be a problem for the rest of time. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Why? Fuck them. That's why. And that's the note when you're opening up the file later. Like, why did we do this originally? Oh, fuck you, Pass Brad.
Have the note attached to like, if there's like keywords, you search for like transport. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, it was a problem again, huh? I saw that. I didn't stop it.
I purposefully continued. It is kind of hard for me to just like think it up kind of thing because like it still is such a small range.
It's so open-ended because it's not like we're going off of, oh, this from the lore is missing because it's a very young faction lore-wise.
Like there's no refreshes that need to be done. They've done a pretty good job with everything that we've seen.
Yeah, but you could sit here daydreaming all day.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you hate them, there's still a lot of potential for the Berserks.
True, you could go that route. What if it's a Berserk in the cage and you do like Thunderkin Berserks? That's the route we go with it. I want to go out swinging, but I want to go out swinging against the biggest thing we can find. I want to lift the thing I can't lift to go out swinging with.
I want to hit him with a house.
I want to hit a dude with another dude.
Yes. I mean, I don't think Votann, like, they don't need it as much. Like, before they got their, like, expansion of, you know, the models pretty recently, it was like, okay, we really only have, like, 10 units. We need more. Votann still needs more, but it's not quite on life support, as it were.
The first expansion did a lot for making Votann feel like, okay, it's a small range, but, like, they're here now.
This is a real faction. Let's move on, though, to a faction that isn't really a faction. Imperial Agents.
Knew where we were going.
Yeah.
I felt that segue in my bones.
They do have kill teams, though.
You have kill teams because, I mean, art projects have to exist for every game.
This is kind of a good spot for Imperial Agents, though. The making the units for the art, the aesthetics, the whatever it is.
The lore, even though it doesn't make sense for a full army, yeah, that's exactly what it's for. Imperial Breachers is a great example of this.
Mm-hmm.
Should there be an Imperial Navy faction in 40k? God, no, because the whole point is they're in the spaceships. But you want to represent they exist, so the Breachers are here.
Yeah.
The Euclidean Starstriders, literally a rogue trader in their posse. Do they need a faction in 40k? God, no. That's literally the antithesis of what a rogue trader is. They're not a warring faction. They're traders, but you want to show off so that you can have them for when you want to do your little role-playing session or whatever in a casual format. Sure, okay.
Yeah.
So we get them in here. Inquisitors. Do they make any sense in a war setting? No, but they're part of what makes the Imperium the shittiest thing ever invented. So we want them represented on the tabletop so that you can have that.
100%. Well, and I mean, there is like the Inquisitors are probably on the battlefield every once in a while as needed.
Yeah, just to do like an op somewhere and leave.
Yeah,
But they're mostly harassing their own people.
that's true.
Like real life cops.
Oh, God.
Speaking of cops.
Yeah.
The Arbites, do they need a faction for war? No, but I guess you could say like we're fighting in a hive city, so even the guards are out and their dog.
And their dog.
So there you go. There's all sorts of stuff that exist. I'm sure there is other Imperial agents that we could technically do a kill team for. I guess like if there's a raid on, hear me out. I'm brainstorming this one in my head.
Yeah.
If there's a raid on an astropath array, there's technically a bunch of astropaths in there. You could have a kill team of like 5 or 6 really shitty head exploding psychers who are trying to go out with a bang, taking the enemy with them to protect the relay and whoever's still trying to send the message.
You could.
There's an idea for one.
You could also just make more Death Watch.
Oh yeah, we were counting Death Watch in this. That's why we didn't count them earlier. Eric's right. I screwed that up. That wasn't on purpose. I actually forgot. So yes, there was also a Death Watch kill team. So yes, you could do other Death Watch kill teams.
But yeah, I mean, it is one of those like kill team is a great spot for Imperial agents. There will be more that come out. It's just a great place to put the like art projects, as it were.
The thing where makes sense for a major faction in 40K, no. But is it part of 40K's lore and thus it wants representation in some tabletop? Yes. Then perfect kill team fodder.
Yep, 100%. Which does lead us to the last faction.
The one to take us out on, Aeldari. You know what that means? We're going to talk about clowns instead of proper Eldar.
Yeah, true.
Move aside, Eldar. My favorite child is here.
The Corsairs.
Corsairs are cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Eldar did get 2 kill teams, and the Void Scarred Eldar Corsairs is one of them.
And the other one being the Striking Scorpions, which is a very nice refresh for them. They are gorgeous.
They did a pretty good job on that.
Yeah, if we're dreaming up new Eldar ideas, yeah, I'm going to talk about clowns.
So, okay, yes. Let's get the other obvious one out of the way before we go into Clownland. Just refresh the Dire Avengers.
Wow, what crazy vanilla ice cream you chose today, Eric.
Yeah, but like maybe the kill team can make it happen.
That's fine.
If anybody's gonna do it, the kill team could do it. So now
Let's talk clowns.
let's continue on that.
We are going to un-Harlequins Harlequins, which is the proper name for squatting, because the squats didn't get squatted, Harlequins did, damn it.
Wow.
We're going to turn this Harlequinsing into a squatsing, where we unsquat them and turn them into Votann, but it's just Harlequins again. Have I confused you enough?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with like Yanari.
No, fuck Yanari. That plot line can sit in the gutter. They're not my clowns. So Harlequins, you could do a couple things. One that got rumored multiple times by random people who are just trying to make fake rumors, I guess, was mimes, which is a great idea for an expansion on the theme of theatrical quote unquote clowns that aren't really clowns. They're theater kids.
Yeah, but like from like the like what do you think of, it fits.
Yeah. And it's a really fun way to do like the idea of a different type of operative agent thing of someone who's silent and deadly and it's just mimes showing up to kill you.
Yeah, that can be terrifying.
I mean, mimes are terrifying. Have you played Claire Obscure?
I actually know.
Dude, Expedition 33 was so fucking good. Oh my God. But yeah, mimes, they don't have to literally look like a French mime.
No, but like
The idea of use a mime as the base and then as Harlequins use a theater mask as the base to build up a Harlequin, you do the same thing.
it's one of those that like you look at the troop and it's like I understand that there's a lot of obvious tropes being hit here, but like we don't have to hit all of them with the mime.
Yeah. And then you do it in one of the troop patterns for one of the troops that is closer to black and white, just for the little head nod to tip of the hat to the mime color scheme. Plus, it's really difficult to do that well, so it'll make your artists look really impressive when everyone sees them.
Wow. I mean, that does matter, kind of.
Yeah, it does. Dude, it's always impressive to see a really good paint job on one of the GW reveal ones. But anyway, so you've got that as an option. One that's been brought brought up plenty of times is the idea of more jump pack flyboy type clowns. It's one of the obvious things you could expand the range with, probably with like butterfly wing aesthetic or something to make them like truly feel unique.
Not just jump pack, because jump pack, it doesn't work as far as I'm concerned.
And we've had things where Eldar love doing like wings and stuff to show off on their jump packs. And this is, you could do, I just thought of this, you could do my Thousand Sun idea of scarab wings with magic wings under them versus flyboy clowns fighting over the library, and the flyboy clowns have butterfly wings, and it would go really hard with some black coats with some colorful wings as like the bright and dark thing there.
Make them like stained glass.
Oh man, holy shit, dude, I love this idea. I like on the spot thinking of this, that would go so hard for a concept.
That would be pretty awesome, yeah.
Please, GW, I never had this idea. Take it. I will deny it forever. If I see it on a box, I'll be like, I've never thought of that. That would be orgasmic to see, though.
I mean, there is still, honestly, because like once you expand the initial idea for Harlequins from just like the troop, the like on the stage kind of look, to like, you know, the mimes, or
just looking at things we already have, like the Death Jester. It clearly uses the same basic of a theater mask and a cloaked figure, and it does it entirely different.
Like, I mean, I was just, as you were dreaming up stuff, I was starting to think, and I don't know what they're called, but you know, like the Matador, I think that's what that is, the like waving the red cloth thing.
Yeah, a Matador could be a really good basis for a Harlequin unit too. You basically make it your entertainer, your dancers of the world. Flamingo dancer. Make that the premise of one of the characters, maybe. Perhaps for Jeruthiel the Red Swan, who does need a model, damn it.
It is one of those that, like, when you think, oh, Harlequins is a pretty narrow, like, faction, it's just a bunch of clowns, then, like, yeah, okay, it is kind of narrow. There's only really so much that you can do with, like, actual literal clowns and make them different. But, like, once you expand that idea to, like, the more entertainment style, there's honestly a lot.
Again, it's not that they're clowns, it's that they serve the laughing god. They're a theater troupe, is the point. They are actors in a play.
Which kind of is perfect for Kill Team to go, all right, let's make them as unique as necessary to fit that. All right, they're in that play. That's their role in it.
An idea, this is becoming a Harlequin idea episode now.
Yeah.
But like an idea for a Harlequin non-infantry. Obviously Harlequin wraiths are a thing, right? But I've seen really sick wraiths painted in the idea of a Harlequin wraith where it's got like the Day of the Dead, like wonderful black and white mask art. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it any more than that, but yeah.
I know. I don't know the name of that art style. I'm not very artistically inclined. But an alternative to like just wraiths, but we make them Harlequins, is, you know, in plays where they will have people dressed in all black suits, like entirely blacked out in the background, and they are propping up what they're supposed to be propping up. You could do that.
They're not like actually part of it. They're like the background that's just helping.
Yeah, you could do that. Sort of like, think in, I know you don't play Elden Ring, but Borelio can do this. In Elden Ring, in Shadow of the Erd Tree, the guys who are the dancing lion, but the dancing lion has possessed their bodies and they're like super fucking creepy. You could do something like that for a Harlequin's elite unit where they're in black suits and there is a monster they are animating out of like ribbons or something, and you have like a ribbon dragon or something, right?
Okay, yeah. I'm
and it's, you see them in the black suits holding it up, but you have to face the fact that there is a ribbon dragon that probably has stealth and 5 other problematic abilities on it.
Sure.
Like, I'm just cooking here in my head.
It is a neat idea to like extend just like even like the entertainers into like also the tech crew of the stage performance.
Yeah, all the world's a stage. Like, take that as the entire premise. Let's go hard on Harlequins. I don't know how this became backdoor. Brad suddenly realizes how much he needs Harlequins expansion at a deep level, but that's where this cold has taken us.
I mean, it's exactly understandable because Harlequins are so cool and there is so much potential. But we do have to end this episode. This is not actually a Harlequins only episode, even though we did potentially a little bit more on that than necessary.
And I want props. I resisted picking Exodites. Just saying. Give me props. I didn't do it.
Proud of you. But I mean, I think that kind of wraps up our like kill team wishes.
Yeah, and our appreciation of it. Like the fact that it is, again, as we pointed out at the beginning, Kill Team is a very big hope for you. Like even if you're a 40k player who doesn't play Kill Team, you should still root for Kill Team's success. It is backdoor giving you content.
And like some of the best models.
I think that's a major takeaway of like, as much as I make fun of the fact that I don't care about Kill Team, I care about Kill Team's success still.
Absolutely.
Don't ever mistake that. I want them to keep cranking stuff out.
Yeah, it's just the rule structure that whatever.
It's not my game.
Honestly, the fact that Kill Team has been doing so much has more or less hidden the fact that like factions other than Space Marine don't get releases.
Yep.
Other than their codex and launch or whatever. But like didn't actually think about that until you brought it up originally and was like, well, maybe. But Kill Team kind of gives you that. It's kind of still okay.
Yeah, I could get something at any point. I just didn't realize that it was only going to come because Kill Team was doing it for me.
Exactly.
The bringers of hope, the Kill Team team.
Speaking of bringing hope, we do have a little bit of news.
Oh, that's true. The news that you waited all episode for.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some giveaways. Full details on how this is going to happen will be announced relatively soon, hopefully.
But obviously we're stealing the idea from Auspex Tactics, so you can guess the majority of the details.
Just maybe a little bit.
Great artists steal, and I want to be a superb artist.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty exciting. That will happen pretty soon. Hopefully we can get some of the intro boxes and have it start with that. But yeah, like I said, the actual full details will be announced soon. Just wanted to give the like, hey, little teaser out there. Some announcement about the announcement that's going to be about an announcement.
All right, and we've got other news coming, but we're going to keep it at that for right now. In addition, though, for our patrons in the audience, there is a bunch of bonus content coming your way. We're not taking a break for this summer as we normally would right about now-ish in the next couple weeks. We're not doing that this year because obviously it's a new 40k edition. So instead, you're getting a bunch of bonus content between the episodes that are coming out. Stay tuned, enjoy all that. If you want more of us and you enjoy what we do here and want to hear the stuff that gets cut from these episodes and the random discussions that happen before them, that's available over on Patreon, where we are supported by fantastic patrons like Eric Gilly and producers who we thank every single week. They are Aetherian, but on deployment.
Ava, Tech Adept.
Billy the Git.
Brad, Eric, still scared of women.
Breaking news, 480 Custodian Guard.
C5 Dynamite.
Certified Peg Star.
Charles Lang.
Corvus.
Demolition Man.
Dolphin Caviar.
Ferris Manus's head in a jar.
Gilgamesh Versus.
I tried to make my name blank last time. So that was on purpose.
That was on purpose. Kiwi Fruit Bird.
La bloop bloop.
Loaf of Disappointment.
Man, Eric's gone. Who am I going to make fun of now?
Damn. NJ Harlan.
Pizza 00100.
Robohap.
Sam Brown.
Scott the Jim Crab. Mr. Festastic. Oh, it's the continuation of the...
Oh.
They started the merch shout out in the last one, and this is a continuation of it. I love you. We forgot our merch shout out, but this is the end of it. But it's poorhammer.com or via Orchid8/poorhammer. I'm so glad we have people who support us and teach us how to make content that is successful and gets us money.
Yeah.
We didn't even remember to say you should do the YouTube pleasantries until halfway through the credit sequence, but there you go. Anyway, the fucking God Emperor of mankind.
The Tau Fire Warrior who can't shoot. Thought I'd give you all a break.
The terrible Toledo Tickler.
Victorian Batman.
Wargame Simulator.
And you are now breathing manually. Thank you so much.
Thank you all again for supporting the show. And now it is time for us to get out of here.
Sounds good.